Well, the potential loss of the Kings is not sitting too well with fans and politicians in Sacramento, as you might imagine.
Right. So joining us now live from our sister station in Sacramento is reporter Jeff Maher. Jeff, good morning. Can I interest you in a Sonics game?
I think I'm going to have to come up there and watch, guys. You know, you've got the Mariners, you've got the Seahawks, you've got the Sounders. Can't you guys just leave us one team? That's all we want.
It's not about that, you know. All right, let's talk about the news of the day here. What about Mayor Kevin Johnson's news conference today for keeping the team? This seems awfully late in the game. What do you know about this presser?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by it. You know, he's going to try to fight this tooth and nail until the very end. What we're hearing is that he has 20 investors lined up already, ready to go, who are willing to commit $1 million each to making some sort of counteroffer. So you've got 20 million right there. That's not a lot, but I think this is just the beginning. What we're hearing is that he's got some other heavy hitter investors lined up, but can he direct this deal away from Seattle? We're going to have to wait and see.
Well, interesting. It does seem, you know, not to put salt in the wound there, but it does seem like a day late and $1 short. I mean, I know that we're sort of grabbing at straws here to try to, you want to keep your team there in your city. What about this issue with Microsoft? CEO Steve Ballmer's involvement in this deal seems like a little bit of desperation there.
Yeah, that's also not a surprise. This is from Senator Darrell Steinberg, a longtime supporter of the Sacramento Kings. He helped fight to keep the team here when the threat was that the team was going to move to Anaheim in 2011. So what he did was he sent this letter to the California Department of General Services, and basically what he's concerned with in this letter is our economic recovery, the thousands of jobs that the Sacramento Kings bring to this community, but he also attacks Ballmer in a way by basically saying that Ballmer is stabbing Sacramento in the back and that Ballmer and Microsoft have enjoyed years of a strong working relationship with California. So you can interpret this letter in a couple different ways. Either this is sour grapes and he's just upset that Ballmer is doing this, or you could look at this as a potential threat that maybe Microsoft stands to lose some of the benefits that it has enjoyed with California over the years. We'll just have to wait and see.
All right. Yeah, maybe we'll just leave it at that. Okay, Jeff, thank you. We'll look forward to that press conference today.
I stopped by several businesses in the Natomas area, and there are so many within walking distance of the Sleep Train Arena. And really, they depend on these Kings home games for a good portion of their revenue, including this restaurant. Now that is Mel's Diner. Mel's is a traditional, classic diner with a 1950s theme, but the walls are filled with Kings memorabilia and autographed player photos. Many of the current players on the roster stop by from time to time. Employees tell me about half of their sales are generated from the Kings home games, along with other restaurants. They say the same thing. One of their best sellers at this particular restaurant is shakes, because they're fast, they're pretty cheap to make, and fans crave them after the games. They get so busy inside this diner that they have to staff additional help during the home games. A lot of the times the staff is there until midnight cleaning up, so they rely on this, and now they're worried about the idea of the Kings leaving and what's going to be left behind at the arena.
In Sleep Train Arena, a lot of it will just be like Disney on Ice performances and a lot of kids shows, but hopefully, I mean, I guess we'll get another NBA team, but really I don't want the Kings to leave, so I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do.
And that employee was telling me that they're likely going to be holding some sort of employee meeting, some sort of strategy meeting to figure out where they're going to go from here. They're basically planning on not having the Kings around this upcoming season. They will be paying close attention to what Mayor Johnson has to say at this press conference this afternoon. But Nick, Kiba, you've got to wonder, you know, what is this going to amount to? If they have $20 million worth of investors right off the bat, sure, that's promising. But if you're going up against a $525 million deal with $30 million upfront guaranteed no matter what happens, how are you going to sway the Maloofs away from that Seattle group? And do you have big enough investors lined up to match that offer? You're going up against some heavy hitters, including Microsoft. They've got deep, deep pockets. If there is a counteroffer, you've got to think they're just going to bump it up.
And Jeff, that $30 million deposit was the direct blow to the gut of Sacramento, because that means that a transaction is now in the works. And the NBA not just has to stop a sale, they have to reverse something that's already happened. And that weighs very heavily on those owners. And like we've been talking about for the past couple of days now, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. I wouldn't want somebody blocking my sale, so why would I do it to somebody else?
Right. So
yeah,
what
that's a good point.
Yeah, Jeff, and what incentive do the NBA Board of Governors have to try to reverse this or stop it? It's almost like, sorry, Sacramento, we got to go ahead and go with it.
Right, yeah, there's
But
not a whole lot they can do.
we'll
at this
see,
point.
right?
I mean, I guess moving forward, the question is, does the NBA see Sacramento as a viable city for an NBA team in the years ahead? If we're looking beyond the Kings, you know, in the future.
More viable than Seattle, though, which is a larger market and more television dollars.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.